Guys, we apologize for the technical difficulties on our end, but we have Benson here ready to go. We'll begin once again with a few questions from our media. We'll start here with Steve Jewin. Steve, go ahead.
Benson, as always, thank you for the time. I want to get a couple of elephants in the room out of the way so that nobody else has to deal with them after you and I are done. Let's start with the fact.
Steve.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you. And I want to know, because we didn't hear about this fight until last week. So how long have you known that you were going to be fighting Jason Jackson?
I have known for about 2 weeks, or they gave me about a 2-week notice from Thursday. So I had about 2 weeks notice. But I did text Bellator. I texted Mike Hogan maybe a month ago or so, a month and a half ago, whatever. And I texted Mike. I said, hey, Mike, I hope I don't need to say this, but if you need me to say this, let me put it out there again. You know, if you need a short notice fight, 70, 55. If it is 55, I need about 3 weeks notice to get down the weight. I think I can make 55 in about 3 weeks. It'll be a hard cut, but I can do it. If it's 70, I'll fight tomorrow, no problem. But if you need a short notice, something pops up and you need somebody, I'm your guy. I'm your Huckleberry. And Mike laughed, sent me a smiley face emoji. And then about a month after that, he said, okay, make sure you're in the gym. Well, thanks for giving us a heads up. Make sure you stay in the gym and be ready in case something does happen. And then a month or month and a half or whatever after that, something like that. But a week ago, week and a half ago, something like that, he texted me and said, hey, how about 170 short notice, Jason Jackson? I texted him and said, I'm your guy. I'm your Huckleberry. Let's do it.
Well, that's perfect for the next question, because it's from the frying pan into the fire going from Michael Chandler to Jason Jackson. So you're obviously game for the fight. You said you wanted it and you're taking it. But at the same time, is this at all motivated by what happened in the fight with Chandler? Did you want to get back as fast as possible?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I want to stay as busy as possible. I know I'm no spring chicken now. I don't have another 10 years left in this game, in this sport. So I have maybe 2 more years left. I'd like to jam pack those 2 years with as many fights as I can while I still can, So I need to stay busy. And on top of that, knowing our society, knowing our 140 character attention span, knowing our 12 second attention span that we have as a society, the more you're in your guys' face, the more I'm in the fans' face, the more Bellator's, higher ups, they see me perform and fight. I know the better chance, the better shot I have of getting the title shot against Patricio. So I just got to stay fighting, staying busy, staying active. And if it happens to be at 170, that's what I got to do. It is what it is. So I'm just trying to stay busy, to stay active for, a couple different reasons. And, I have to get that 55-pound belt around my waist. I have to, and I will. It's just a matter of time.
All right, final one for me, and I'll let everybody else get in with you. It's a situation now where you've been a legend in the sport for a long time, and earlier on the call, we heard another fighter refer to his opponent as a name that's a trophy that I can put on my shelf. Do you think Jason Jackson is looking at you that way, like you're a trophy that he can put on his shelf?
Absolutely, and he should, rightfully so. No problem. He's looking like I'm a name, a trophy to put on the shelf, yada yada. I'm looking like he's a name on the next rung, the next step going. Continuing my career. That's how his mindset should be. And after you reach a certain point in your career, you get to a certain level. You gotta understand that's the way it's going to be for me forever, for the rest of my life. If I go do a jiu-jitsu tournament next year, and I go do Worlds, you better guarantee whoever I go against at Worlds is going to be excited to go against me, and they're going to be ramped up, the most excited they've ever been for any jiu match of their life going against me. That's how it is. I got bulls on my back, whether it's an MMA fight, whether it's a jiu-jitsu match, whether it's a wrestling match. I go do wrestling tournaments in Arizona still. I got this 19-year-old young kid I'm going up against, and he looks over and he sees me, sees my name, like he's pumped up. This is the most excited he's been for a wrestling match in his entire life. He's going to bring his A game, and that's just how it is for me. And I actually like that. I relish it. You bring your best. You bring your best. I'm going to bring my best. We'll see who the better man is, So I'm cool with it.
Giancarlo?
Hi, Benson. Hope you're doing well. You're
Yeah.
taking this fight short notice, and it's at 170. So if you're impressive in this fight and you get it with little ease, do you think that you'll be continuing at 170, or is still the plan to go down to 155?
Man, that's above my pay grade. I do know I want the belt at 155. I want to fight for the belt at 155. I want to face off against Patricio. But if Bellator has their next fight at 170 again, toss up to my coaches. I'm always down. I'll say yes. I'll toss it to my coaches, see what they say. They know. My coaches know. Well, Mike Hogan knows. Bellator knows. I want that 55-pound belt. I need to have that around my waist. I must have that around my waist. I will have it around my waist. It's just a matter of time. But if I just need to stay busy and stay active, fight at 70 next fight, sure, that's fine. But I want all these 70 wins to count for 55 so I can go down there and get a title shot still. Like, I just want to fight for the belt at 55. I need to. Was on a nice 4-fight win streak before I faced off against Chandler. Chandler got the W, but I still think that at 55, I don't know what else Bellator is going to do, but me staying busy at 70, that's fine.
And final one for me, Patricio is in that featherweight Grand Prix. He won against, so it's going to probably be a while before he even defends that lightweight title. Do you see him even defending it, or do you see yourself maybe fighting someone else for a vacant title?
I have no idea. Again, above my pay grade. Who knows? It'd be nice to fight him. I think he should want to fight me. Last time we faced off, I got the W. I left the cage with my hand raised. So I think he wants to fight. He's a game guy too. He's a good champion. He's a champ. So he's a good champion. He's a good dude. Doesn't talk too much smack unless you talk smack to him first. He's not like a smack talker like that. So I got respect for him. But I would think that he would want to fight me, and I would think that he would want to defend the belt. Like everybody says, you're not a real champion until you defend the belt. You win it one time. The saying goes, you're not the champ until you defend it one time. So I think he needs to defend it once. I don't know who else they're going to give him at 155. He can probably take his pick of anybody he wants to face off against. I don't know why he would not pick me, but who knows?
Steven?
Why is winning the Bellator lightweight title so important to you at this point of your career?
I got to have it. I have absolutely got to have it. I got to have that belt at 155. It is very important to me on more than just one level, on a lot of different levels. I got to have that belt. I'm gonna get that belt. I'm gonna have a chapter around my waist.
Does it complete your legacy in any way?
I don't know if I would say it completes my legacy, but I do know it is something that I want. It's something something I gotta have. So I'm gonna go get it.
Did Chandler's departure to the UFC in any way change your long-term plans as far as, your prospects for getting that belt? Did it factor at all into, your path to the title?
I don't really know. I'm not sure. I think that's, again, above my pay grade. You got to ask maybe the Bellator higher up, Scott Coker, Mike Hogan, those guys with Chow, see what they say about that. Chandler taking off and where that leaves the rest of the division, yada, yada, yada. For me, what I know is I have Jason Jackson in front of me on Thursday, and I got to get past him. I got to beat him up, and then hopefully everything else gets sorted out.
How much of a risk do you gauge this as, sort of fighting up a weight division on short notice when you're trying to get that lightweight title as sort of your main goal?
I think anytime you fight, it's a risk. So this is a risk as any other fight is, whether it's at 55, whether it's at 70. Like you win, it's good. You lose, it's not good, it's bad. So I think it's the same as any other fight. Taking a fight at 55 against whoever else, same thing, man.
All right, we'll take a couple more here. Jay Anderson, go ahead.
Hey, Benson, welcome back. Just a couple of quick ones for me. First of all, Jason Jackson isn't quite the household name that some of your opponents have been, but, he's looked good recently. He had earlier career fights against Diego Lima, against Colby Covington. He was on tough. Just give us your thoughts on the matchup, first of all.
I think he's a good fight. I think he's a good fighter. I think it's a good fight. I think it's a good matchup for me. I think he trains the best guys, some of the best guys in the world. He's trained with world champions. So I think he has a lot of experience in that sense. A lot of guys don't realize. A lot of fans don't realize somebody who doesn't have the most experience inside the cage. He's 11-4 or 10-4, something like that. But he has years and years and years of training with some of the best guys in the world. So I think that speaks, highly of him. That speaks well of him to have those kind of training partners. He doesn't have the biggest name, but he's trying to make a name, and this is his chance for him to make his name. And here you go. Here's your shot. Let's find out Thursday night.
And Michael Chandler leaving Bellator, you've shared the cage with him. You've also transitioned between promotions yourself. What are you expecting, from him? And is it harder than people kind of imagine? I imagine you get used to the way things work in a certain promotion, and then you kind of go into a whole new world.
Yeah, for sure. I think some of the behind the scenes stuff is a lot different. For the most part, promoters, that's what they do. Their job is to promote fights. They promote fights. You fight. You're the fighter. They're the promoters. Bellator and UFC in that aspect, they're the same. They're just promoters. They do what they do. But you get into some of the finer details, the actual going through the motion, knowing who you're supposed to talk to, knowing, this guy takes care of this lady, she takes care of this. Oh, I need help with something. Who do I call? Who do I email? So all the behind the scenes staff with the UFC and with Bellator, that is different. Going through the routine, going through the ritual of, even what day you fly out. On Bellator, you fly out on these days, 4 days, 5 days in advance. And UFC fly out these days in advance. So all that I think is can be a factor. It was a factor for me for sure. But I think that Chandler already went once to a UFC fight as a backup or whatever. So he went through the routine himself as a fighter. He went through it himself once. He didn't fight, but he went through the routine. So maybe when he fights for the first time, he'll be a little more used to it. But yeah, it can be a trial. It can be a test. But as a fighter, that's your job. Like, you saw as a young fighter, you don't have really a whole lot of media obligations. The better you do, the higher up you go, the more and more media obligations you have. And then you have to learn how to deal with it, how to adjust, how to take it and roll with it. Same thing for moving organizations. You have to learn how to adjust. You have to learn how to roll with it and go with it. And I think Chandler, he'll do fine. I think he'll do just fine in the UFC.
Donna?
Hey, Benson. This phrase you've used, I last spoke to you before the Miles Jury fight back in Dublin about a year and a half ago. You've used this phrase, above my pay grade. You've said it in that when I spoke to you then. You're saying it now. You've said it in a lot of interviews. At some point, though, you're a legend. There are people with lesser CVs than you who have been given bigger opportunities because they talk, because they push for it. You're desperate for this championship. Do you feel like at some point you're going to have to say fuck it and go out there and start talking a little bit of trash and start demanding things from Scott Coker and the promotion?
Nah, I can't do that, man. That would be selling my soul. I will not ever in my life sell my soul and do something that's not genuine and real to me. Do I get mad? Do I get frustrated? For sure. I get very upset, but I show my displeasure in a certain way. Sometimes I do get upset enough to have a outburst or to lash out or something, but that's very few and far between. But I'm not going to sell my soul. I'm not going to talk trash. I will refuse. I will not ever do that just for the sake of selling tickets, just for the sake of, getting the championship fight or doing this or doing that. To me, those guys they're pretty low, and I won't do that.
But I don't think it would be selling
fights.
Of course, but I don't think it would be selling your soul to start, because you mentioned, to get these opportunities, you have to be in front of us. Like you said, we've got 140 character, memory span. When you're in front of us, I feel like maybe if you, to get that shot, especially now when at 155, the title is so up in the air. We don't know if it's going to be vacant. We don't know if Pitbull is going to be defending it at some point. It feels like maybe at some point you have to be kind of in the media going, not talking crap about anybody, but calling your shot and saying, I really do think that the career I've had, the fights I've won in this promotion and other promotions, I deserve this opportunity at the Bellator Championship.
I won't disagree with you in that. I think there are definitely certain ways to go about it. I'm just saying, yeah, I will not go about it in a way that is contrary to who I am as a person, and not in a way that's contrary to my beliefs, the things I stand for the person I am, for the man that I am. But will I have to, maybe perhaps say a little bit more, be a little bit more vocal, be a little bit more articulate in the way I word it in the media? Maybe that is the answer. Maybe I'll have to do that. But me now in this interview, even now, the past interviews, now with the previous questions, saying, hey, I need to, I want to, yada yada yada. Like that's my way of saying, like I want this fight at 155 for the belt. But when it comes to above my pay grade, what I mean by that is that a lot of times it's not my choice. I literally can't make the fight myself. I cannot say, I'm going to fight Patricio. That's the call for Scott Coker and Mike Hogan and Rich Chow and those guys. I cannot do that. So that's what I mean by above my pay grade. Is there's things I can control and things I cannot control, and things that I cannot control. That's above my pay grade. I can't control that. Why worry about it? Why stress about it? I can only keep winning. Hopefully winning in impressive fashions. Hopefully be on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fights in a row eventually. You have to get a title shot, right? Yeah, that's it for me right there. Just keep on winning. And if it comes to the point where I need to say this, I need to say that, I might have to talk a little bit more. I will do that. I'm not against that, but I just have to stay true to who I am. I'm not going to be somebody who's like outlandish and say some brash stuff and say something just for people to pay attention to me, to look at me because I want attention. Like those guys are idiots.
Last one here, Matthew.
Hi there, Benson. Matthew Allen of Fight Night Picks. Just real quick, thoughts on guys like RDA who you can see move up from welterweight to lightweight, who are a little bit more advanced in their career. Just seeing a guy like that being able to move between weight classes give you confidence in taking a fight like this on short notice, knowing that no matter what happens, you can fight at 170 or 155.
Who was that again? I didn't catch the name you said.
RDA, Rafael dos Anjos.
Oh, cool. Well, I have fought before at 70 a couple of times, so I have experience on fighting short notice at 170. I had a couple of fights that happened to before. So my confidence comes from there, having done it before and having had success before. And the fact, I'm just like any fighter on the planet. I'm the, if you're a fighter, you should be the most confident fighter on the planet. I am the most confident fighter on the planet, as I should be, as all fighters should be. I have confidence in my skill set. I have confidence in what I do. I have confidence in whoever I match up against. I can find a way to win. I will find a way to win. And Jason Jackson is that case, even at 170, even on short notice. I think I match up very well with him. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go beat him up.
Perfect. And last thing from me, in your last performance against Michael Chandler, there wasn't a crowd there. And I'm just curious, was the fight any different not having that kind of energy in the arena?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I was able to do a couple of jiu-jitsu competitions, having no crowd. I wanted to actually compete. I cornered a couple of guys where there was no crowd. It was a little bit different, but you tell your fighter, like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's no big deal. Go out there and go fight. Go beat them up. It's okay. But then, like, in the back of my head as a coach, I was like, oh no, this is a little bit different. Like, I wonder how he's going to take it. I wonder how he's going to do. So I wanted, as a competitor, to actually experience it, to go through it. So I went and took a couple of juicy matches to experience what it was like to compete in front of no crowd, in front of an empty, silent, arena. And so I experienced that. I did that. So I don't think it was as big of a deal for me going to do my first MMA fight with no crowd. And I don't think it wasn't a factor at all, really. Like, you go out there, and you should go compete. It doesn't matter whether it's in the back of a 7-Eleven with 2 people watching, or whether it's in front of 73,000 people. It doesn't matter. You go out there and you go do your best. You go perform. You go have a great performance. And normally I'm able to do that. I'm going to do that Thursday night also. Go have a great performance.
Great. Thanks for the time, Benson. Good luck this week.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys.